Learn how to activate your divine feminine essence in 2026. I'm Savannah, and I am a somatic practitioner and spiritual mentor for women who are ready to fully heal the parts of themselves that do not fully align with their truth, and they are ready to fully activate their purpose. I wanted to create this video talking all about the divine feminine and what it even means, what it is, and how to really activate this, especially in 2026 as we enter into a brand new year after 2025 was full of so much release and shedding the parts of ourselves that we can no longer continue to carry with us. Now, I feel like the feminine and masculine energies are a very popular topic right now, which is good and bad. Good because it is something that the masculine and feminine need to understand and understand more within themselves. But I think sometimes it can kind of be taken um, down an extreme or out of context and used for like excuses and everything. But the main thing that I want to get into today is the divine feminine specifically. And if you're not familiar with that, that's okay. Or if you haven't heard of that term before, I'm going to explain it. So basically, the divine feminine is not only being fully embodied in your feminine essence as a woman, but it's also living in divine consciousness. I teach 4 different levels of consciousness inside my program. And I also teach how to shift out of your masculine and into your feminine energy and how to really restore that and heal those wounds that are preventing you from shifting into your feminine energy. So understanding when we think about divine consciousness, the 4 levels that I teach on this are peasant consciousness. So the very bottom, thinking about people who are very much in the victim mindset. And then we have self-aware consciousness. So this is people who have a little bit more awareness, especially when it comes to people around them, but fully embodying what they know or what they're aware of can be a challenge for them. So thinking about people who maybe have gone to therapy, or maybe you've just done personal growth and mindset, like you've read books and everything, and you understand a lot of information, you are aware of it, but you have a hard time fully embodying it and shifting out of, okay, well, I still keep sabotaging my goals, or I still keep continuing these patterns and behaviors in my life, even though I'm aware of them and I don't want to. That would be considered the self awareness level of consciousness. Now, the third level is embodied consciousness. A lot of the women that I work with inside my programs, they come into my body of work somewhere in the self-aware consciousness level. I always like to say that there's levels within each level. So you could be very self-aware in one area of your life, but still find yourself falling into maybe more peasant consciousness in another area of life, or you're really self-aware in a lot of areas of your life, but you haven't been able to fully embody it. That is where we really bridge the gap in my signature framework program, the 6 weeks to release your old identities and and embody your soul essence. That is my signature program that really helps you close that gap. And once they go through that program, they shift more into this embodied consciousness. From there, the top highest level of consciousness is considered divine consciousness. This is being able to be embodied and tap more into your divine essence, so your God-like essence, which we all come from God. We are all an extension of God. But for a majority of people, they don't ever access this. They don't ever end up accessing their psychic abilities, their intuitive gifts, their divine purpose, why their soul came here on earth to fulfill a certain mission, they don't ever end up fully activating that because they are stuck in the lower levels of consciousness. And you can start to think about it as peasant consciousness. This is being in your most animal like form. And when you think about an animal on one end of the spectrum and divine consciousness, so God, your soul like essence, you can't you can't access both at the same time. It'd be like at the bottom of the stairs trying to access something on the 10th floor. You can't be in two places at once. So they're kind of like on separate ends of the spectrum. And my goal when working with clients is to take them through the higher levels of consciousness to where they're fully activated, they're fully connected to source, they're fully connected to their soul essence and really embodied in that. And they know how to, anytime they're hit with challenges or something that comes up in their life, they are equipped with the tools and resources and structures and foundations they teach them inside the program to level up through anything. So in the beginning, a lot of it is very foundational. They're learning how to actually like control the reins of their animal body and recognize when the animal body is trying to take over, and just really becoming super aware of it, but then also shifting and gaining control over it so that they continue to stay in their godlike essence, their divine consciousness. So that's like a brief explanation of what that is. And on the other side of that, so going back to our feminine energy and that whole essence in itself, the feminine is able to fully receive. She knows how to trust. She's not one to try and take control over situations. It's fully embodied trust. And when you think of someone who's fully embodied in that, they're not worrying over things that haven't happened, they're not worrying over things that they can't control, because they truly are embodied in trust. They know that they are being fully supported, being fully taken care of. And that's how women can fully activate their divine feminine essence, where we are not only in this very high level of consciousness where we are very in touch with our godlike essence and our intuitive psychic abilities, but we're also in our feminine essence, which is being able to receive, being able to be taken care of, being able to fully tap into your emotions and your body and the senses of your body and experiencing pleasure, like all of these things that tie into being in your feminine. When you marry these two together, we become like a goddess. And this is why there's some women that you may know that you feel very, very drawn to, that they're just very cool, very calm, collected. They're very beautiful. They just have this energy about them that draws you in. Consider those individuals not only in their feminine essence, but very likely in their divine feminine essence. When you just feel very drawn to them, it's because they're in their most godlike essence. And of course, we're going to naturally be drawn to people like this who are embodied like this. Now, the way that you are able to activate this, which I'll just say that when you do activate this fully in yourself, you will become so aligned with your purpose, your passions, what brings you joy in life. It just naturally puts you on a path towards really full-blown alignment. So if you are a driven woman and you've been maybe in this season of searching in your life and trying to figure out, what is this all for? Like, what did I build this all for? Or you're trying to build something because you really want to make a big impact. You know you're meant for more. When you fully can activate your divine feminine, it naturally will put you on the design path for you, your destiny, which is what you could call it. So the way to fully activate this is, well, understand, and I kind of touched on this already, but understand that we have an animal body and we also have a spiritual body. The spiritual body is who we truly are. It's our core essence, and our spiritual body experiences life through the animal body. And the reason for this is it gives the spiritual self the opportunity to experience itself. Because when you think about our souls being eternal, God is eternal, it already knows itself. So when we come to earth and we exist in this animal body, it gives us this opportunity to experience ourselves, right? We forget who we truly are. We forget our divine essence and our soul and divinity. We forget all of that. And through this physical 3D reality, it allows us to go on that journey of discovering ourselves again and experiencing our spiritual essence from a position of somewhat separation. It um, it just allows for there to be a different experience when we come here and exist in our animal body. So, understanding that we are a spiritual body, but we come here and experience ourselves through the animal body. And the way that you can activate your divine feminine essence is by mastering your animal body. You must learn how to master it, the animal body, because when you think about an animal, any animal, it it does things from survival instincts. Its nature is to do things to protect itself, to survive. It's just very instinctual, and it's coming from the animal body. The animal body is running the show. And when we think about this from, again, thinking that there's two ends of the spectrum, there's the animal body, and you level up in consciousness in order to really fully experience your divine essence. You have to learn how to control the animal body, because you don't level up in consciousness when the animal body is the one that's in control. So thinking about the animal body, the things that make up that specifically obviously is the physical body, but going deeper with that in layers, understanding that the nervous system is a huge component of what controls our body, our subconscious. So the mind component is what controls the animal body, specifically, again, the subconscious. So when you can learn how to master those things, that's when you will start to level up in consciousness. You will start to close the gap of being self aware and like knowing information, understanding information, but training your body to recalibrate to that information. There's a big difference of knowing information in your brain and understanding it, but to be able to calibrate your animal body to embody that information is very, very different. And that's where a lot of women, especially driven, ambitious women, get stuck because their animal body is calibrated to a lower level of consciousness. It's calibrated to old identities, to past traumas. It's still holding on to a lot of negative energy. And that's how the body's responding. It's just wired to respond to whatever's in whatever energies within your field. So when you can start to clean that up, when you can start to gain control over that, that's when you are able to shift in the levels of consciousness. You are able to start recalibrating your animal body to a more divine essence, and for you to start being in more control versus the animal body being in control of you. This is where self-sabotage stops running your life. This is where you stop falling into old patterns. You stop attracting less than ideal situations into your life because you no longer are an energetic match of it. So there's a lot of work and intention that goes into it, but it really can start to shift things very, very quickly when you start taking action and doing the work to become aware of your animal body and almost like separate yourself from the animal body. So many people identify themselves with their animal body. So, with the beliefs that they have, with their body, with their physical everything, they are, their identity is tied to that. But the woman in divine consciousness, she realizes that that is not actually who she is. It's just how she is experiencing life. And she gets to she gets to look at it from an outside lens and recognize that even when things come up and they look and perceive a certain way, she can shift them if she chooses to. She can change them if she wants to. She's not tied to the idea that she is her beliefs, she is her body. She's not tied to that because she knows that that's not who she is. The animal body is not who she is. Her spiritual soul essence is who she is, and she's just experiencing herself through that animal body. So she's not completely attached to the animal body and its instincts and its belief system. That is how you begin to unlock and activate your divine feminine essence, is when you can make that realization and be open to shifting and changing and growing um, over time. Because if anything's constant, it is change. And for the people who end up staying stuck in peasant consciousness and in self-aware consciousness, they are very tied to their identities. They're very attached to them and they don't know how to separate themselves from it. So, if you want to learn more about how to actually do this and level up your consciousness in 2026 and truly activate your feminine essence, then you can join my waitlist for my signature program. Again, it's called 6 Weeks to Release Old Identities and Embody Your Soul Essence. This program will walk you through how to do this, how to reprogram and rewire your subconscious, how to release parts of yourselves that truly do not belong to you and are holding you back, how to regulate and gain mastery over your nervous system, and truly shift your energy to be more in attunement, more in alignment with your soul encoded frequency. And this can be applied at any level that you are at in your life. So we have women that come into this program that are very new to this work and can start applying it and integrating it right away. We have women who have maybe been doing this work for longer, but she can still apply what she learns at her level. And if anything, it speeds up her progress that much faster because she's already highly, highly self-aware. She just needs to learn how to close that gap. This program does this and allows you to apply at any level that you are in your journey. It is going to be reopening in January, early January 2026. When you join the waitlist now, you will be the first to be notified once it is open, and you will also receive the best deal just for being on the waitlist. So be sure to join that. And if you were watching this beyond January 2026, don't worry, the program is still going to be available. I will update the links in the description. So if you do want to join this program, you can do so by clicking the link below. All right, if this video is helpful, Be sure to like and subscribe for more content all about healing, regulating your nervous system, reprogramming your subconscious, and activating your soul